This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
Well, a very pleasant good morning and welcome to Harbor Place, Never Alone. And the queen of Harbor Place is Katrina Beasley. Hello, good
Hi,
morning.
Greg. How are you?
We are doing great. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you. A little busy, but I'm doing good.
So, what else is new for you? You're all over the place.
I am, and it's been a couple of busy weeks. We're still hiring for staff, and then, of course, still have residents joining our family here at Harbor Place. So it remains busy, but certainly not complaining about it.
There you go. Well, I've got a question as far as numbers go. I mean, if someone calls and said they'd like maybe one or possibly two apartments, would that be a possibility today?
Oh, absolutely. We do have availability both in our independent living and our assisted living. At Harbor Place, we do offer studio apartments as well as one bedroom and two bedroom apartments. So, and currently we do have some availability still.
That sounds great. That really sounds good. And I think the big thing is that you're always looking for ways that you can really cater to people there, and they're your family.
Yeah. So part of what we do is when we meet, our potential resident is certainly, trying to get to know them as much as possible through what we call discovery, learning some of their interests, their likes, a little bit of background information about them, family, work. And we found that when we do that, it does help us in terms of helping the resident not only make a decision with regards to our community and joining our family, but also with helping to make friends and acquaintances once they do come to the community and they move in and then they start to build their lifestyle here. So one of those things is we pride ourselves on really getting to know the families and the residents prior to them even moving into the community.
I'm still trying to figure out how I could do the show if I move in there.
Yeah, well, you know what? Listen, we do have a number of spaces that we could set up. And of course, our team, and it would be it would be great, Greg, because we could have that as part of our once a week activity, with our
There you
residents being
go.
interviewed and or either telling some stories. Remember, we've talked about that before, kind of having some storytelling happening. So, yeah.
And I've seen some things on Facebook, and I don't know whether this is Century Park Corporate or Harbor Place, where you've got residents telling some stories, and just absolutely fascinating to me.
Yeah. Well, throughout the company and the 41 communities that we do have in the 19 different states, there are stories to be told. So oftentimes, whether it's here at Harbor Place or another community in Colorado or in Tennessee, that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on is to know the stories of our residents and then to be able to share them upon them giving us the permission to do so. So for us, the stories are what make it. It's what builds the culture in the community, and it's what builds the relationship between our families, our residents, our associates here in the community and the management team.
And I remember years ago, our news director came to me, and this was in the era when we would have the morning show at Harbor Place. And he said, there's an NFL Hall of Famer living here. I said, what? And he mentioned his name. I'd never seen him play. It was in the
Hmm.
50s. But I'm thinking, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I met a resident when I first came to the community, and he had shared with me that there were a number of retired professional NFL players in the community. And so while I didn't get an opportunity to meet them, I can concur that there were some former NFL players living here at Harbor Place. So pretty special, right?
You bet. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that's amazing. So now gosh, this year is almost over again.
Mhm.
We've made it through another year together, Katrina.
Yeah,
I don't know how.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been
Thanking
amazing.
God for it, I tell you.
Yeah, yeah, really. No kidding. Well, what's on tap as we get a little closer to January?
So, right now, like I said last month, we were starting the kickoff for the holidays. And so just with decorating the community, started that on Monday, making it festive with, between Christmas and Hanukkah. Really just kind of looking at some of the areas. So festivity wise, we've started decorating this week. So excited for that. But we do have a couple of programs that are going to be happening over the next couple of weeks. The first one is this coming Friday. We have the opportunity to partner with Treasure Coast Hospice, and they're going to do their Tree of Life service here at the community. Now, I had never seen this before, but I had an opportunity to speak with one of the volunteers from Treasure Coast, and so she described the service and the program to me. And it really is, it gives the residents, as well as some of our community partners, the opportunity to come in and celebrate the life of a loved one, right? And so what happens is, whoever it is that they want to honor or remember, they'll fill out a little angel or a little card, and then that will go on the tree. And then after that, doing a little prayer and a little reflection. But I think it's a nice way because while the holidays are merry and bright, they're not so much for everyone, right? And so this is a great opportunity for our residents, those in the community who want to join us, to be able to reflect and remember those that are no longer with us today and during this season.
That is a wonderful idea.
Yeah, so that's gonna happen Friday, December 1st at 2 o'clock. It's gonna be in our meeting room. So if there's anyone out there who wants to come and join us with this service and this reflection of their loved one, certainly we are opening up our doors for that. All we ask is that you just call the community and RSVP the number of persons that will be coming so that we can make sure we have room for you at the service on Friday at 2 p.m.
That is so cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
And this is, of course, obviously over and above everything else that goes on almost daily at Harbor.
sure. Yeah, yeah. And again, I feel honored to be able to host this here at the community and have an opportunity to share in it. So I am elated that this is happening on Friday, and really just again to kind of kick off the season where we look at it as, merry and bright, and it could still be, but there is that opportunity to reflect and to remember. So yeah.
And this obviously is the first week of our WPSL Christmas Kids fundraising campaign, if you will, the radio shows. And we've gotten off to a great start. We can't thank the Treasure Coast enough because, wow, we took over the Christmas Kids, Carol and I, in 1994. And it just keeps growing and growing. And it's almost a full-time year-round event for us
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
various things that we do, from summer swimming to um, back to school clothing for the homeless youngsters of St. Lucie County. So
yeah. Nice.
It works well.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it is. It's rewarding, especially for our residents, because we do partner with some of our local organizations out in the community with those kind of, give backs, right? Our residents have known charity and given to charitable organizations all their lives, and so still able and willing to do it today. So next year, Greg, make sure that you have like a little drop box or something here for us to be able to participate.
Well, and your residents did that. Well, it was all pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Used to do that annually,
Sure.
and of course, actually, before the pandemic, we actually did one of the Christmas Kids remotes there, and
Yeah.
we got to start that again, and
Yeah.
maybe do one of the shows there. And what we always prided ourselves was the Harbor Place All Stars. And
Yeah.
this would be the residents singing Christmas carols,
Yeah.
and actually in several different languages. So it was so cool, and we always had so much fun. We gotta maybe put that in next year. I think that would be very cool.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, the All Stars, and that just kind of brings to mind now. So yesterday I had the opportunity to, well, I'm always, in the communities, right? So in the assisted living community, and heard our residents with their handbell practice. And so you're talking about the singing, our residents, and there's probably about 15 to 20 residents who are in handbell practice every Monday. And so I said to them, we've got to take this show on the road, right? So that would be great if we could have you come and do a show, and then had our residents do a little thing with the handbells and maybe some Christmas carols or something. That would be great. I'm actually going to put that on my list.
Oh yeah, definitely, because that and boy, this goes back maybe 10 years, but I think we had some handbell members um i- along with the singing. So yeah, we put that in the book, because
Yes, I just
I'll,
wrote it down, Greg.
I'll forget about it. There's no doubt about it.
I just wrote it down. That would be fabulous. I would love for
Yeah,
our residents to do that.
I think
And they do, they practice so hard and they're so good. I tell you, they really are.
that sounds great. That sounds
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, I'll probably start working on the Christmas Kids schedule right after we get done giving away the toys on the 15th of December. But
Yeah, that's
yeah, I'll have to pencil in Harbor Place, and we'll have the singing all stars plus your handbell choir.
yeah, absolutely. That would be great. That would be
Yeah,
great. Yeah,
that'll be fun. Yep.
yeah. So
Nice.
the other thing that we're going to be doing next week is so it's Christmas, and and again I go back to hearing the stories, right? So while it was Thanksgiving, I had the opportunity to hear stories from our residents, and the culture and the kind of traditions that they have. And so some of our residents said that during Thanksgiving, those that are Italian descent, they talked about their meals, that what they would serve as their traditional Thanksgiving. So it was great to hear that. But on next Wednesday, we're doing a tour of Italy, so to speak. And so we're going to have an entertainer here, Andre Tesoro. And this is where it's going to be more like a kind of happy hour, social hour, but it's tour of Italy. So we'll have hors d'oeuvres and a little bit of spirits there, not much. And then, of course, Andre Tesoro will be here to wow us, right, with his voices of Italy, right? And so, again, if I have some partners out there who want to come and experience this time with us, it'll be from 3:30 to 4:30 back in our meeting room, and that's next Wednesday. So it's our tour of Italy. That's what we're calling it. And so great to be able to have a fabulous time for that hour, to be able to hear a great voice who, opera, I mean, gosh, he sings opera as well. But certainly, this is a good time for us. So,
Yeah, it's boy, that takes me back. Seriously, when you do the Italian function, what day is that going to be, by the way?
that is Wednesday, December 6th, starting at 3:30 until 4:30.
Wow, that sounds great. Well, Jack DeGiorgio, if you're listening, you got a place to go. Uh, so Jack hosts an internationally the Italian show
Mm.
that used to air years ago on WPSL that he now does on the internet. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, oh yeah, and he's based in
Okay.
Port St. Lucie. So
Wow.
Jack, if
Wow.
you're listening, go to Harbor Place.
Ah,
It's cool. Yeah, yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Well, I think about Thanksgiving was so unusual when I was a kid growing up. Um, my uncle was Sicilian, and he used to make all kinds of various pastas, and we'd have a turkey too, but it, it was very Italian. Actually, I had my first Chianti when I was 13. I could
Oh,
get
wow.
3 sips. That's all. That's all they allowed. But oh my.
Oh my goodness, that is wonderful though. But yeah, the holidays appear that they're going to be quite special here. While we have those two events, there will be a number of other events that will be going on with some of our high school choral groups coming in to entertain our residents, both in independent and assisted living. So great to always have the intergenerational programs that happen, so we're excited about that. But then just in general, just the festivities, right? With the residents and their families coming in, the various happy hours and wind down Wednesdays that we'll be doing here at the community and the entertainers that will be coming in. It will be true. It truly will be a merry and bright time here at Harbor Place.
That sounds great. We are very fortunate, I think, tomorrow to have Port St. Lucie High School's actors here during the Christmas Kids show. And I don't know, have you touched base with Mr. Madden yet over at the drama teacher over at Port St. Lucie High?
No, I have not.
Okay, well,
I know that our
I'll
residents will go see some of their productions, right?
uh-huh.
So we go see the productions, but we haven't actually had them come to the community, which would be
Okay.
great. Yeah.
I'll text you his number. You get a hold of Patrick because he wants those kids out in the community.
Oh, that's nice.
And of
Very
course, the
nice.
high school is right almost around the
Yeah,
corner from you. So
it really is. Yes.
yeah, yeah. Well, we'll touch base. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, but it's great, this type of setting, especially for the holidays. So, the residents, I believe, get the best of both worlds, right? They have their friends here that they've made since moving into the community, and then with their families who are either coming in from out of town or who are here locally, still they have the opportunity to spend time with them as well. So I I I believe that our residents here are quite special, not just during the holidays, but every day, right? To be able to have the services and the amenities of Harbor Place right here in front of them. So, and we're always looking to share the services, the amenities, and what we have to offer here with others.
That sounds great. And of course, for the veterans who may be listening, there are veterans benefits out there. And of course, Katrina and the staff are very, very aware of everything that they can possibly do to get this going for you.
Yeah. So, we honor, I mean, we're so proud of the veterans that we have here in the community. And to hear their stories of, whether it was wartime or if they were serving, here in the States. But certainly, one of the ways that we find that we can honor them is through our veteran discount. And then, of course, working with Dwayne, who can assist with that aid and attendance for those that qualify. So for us, I mean, it really is a great service and a great honor to recognize our veterans who decide to make Harbor Place their home.
I think that's wonderful, and I really think, in a way, and Dwayne has talked about this, how unique you are at Harbor Place. That you make this offer. Hey, talk to Dwayne because he's an expert when it comes to this.
Yeah, and it's always amazing how many families are not aware of the veteran aid and attendance. And so to have a resource like Dwayne, to be able to have the families reach out, and he can literally tell them, with having conversation with them, what it is that they need, and then if they will qualify or not. And that does make a difference when a family is trying to decide with moving into a community setting like this at Harbor Place. It does make a difference. And so we are, again, so excited that we have Dwayne, who we partner with, to be able to help us and to help our families with that. It is invaluable.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Well, what are your plans for 2024? We need to start talking about next year. I can't believe it, but it's
Oh my goodness.
almost there.
I will tell you, we are in actuality on Monday, we are already starting to sit down to talk about what 2024 looks like. And so between our lifestyle director, Bethany, and just myself, I mean, we've already started talking about having lunch and learns. We haven't done those in a good little while. So that will be one of the things that we'll be featuring in 2024 is having healthcare partners, whether it's physicians or attorneys, estate planning. So having really those lunch and learns that we can invite our community into our community to learn more about those services, those benefits that would help them make the decision in terms of moving into a setting like Harbor Place. So we're excited about that. Like I said, it has been a while since we've done those lunch and learns. So we're looking forward to those. Really having more of our open houses so that those who are maybe thinking about independent living or assisted living can come in, tour the community, take home a meal, doing some dash and dine, or either having dessert on us, those kind of things. So we're looking at that. And then, of course, changing up some of the programming based off of our resident needs, right? Doing more tech classes, doing more of the um, um, online kind of things happening, because what we're finding is that our residents have become more and more tech savvy, with streaming, whether, on their tablets or on their televisions, so it is wonderful to see them asking the questions and really kind of telling us what's happening, right? But it does make the difference, when someone can stream or go on their tablet and hear Benny Goodman, right? They may not have the record anymore, or they may not be able to find the radio station, but they can certainly go on and stream, right? And say to Alexa, play music by Benny Goodman, and it takes them back. Yeah. It's the
Yeah.
most phenomenal thing. It's so rewarding, I tell you. And so we're excited about being able to offer that. We have a number of resident volunteers here who have asked to have certain programming come and to offer. So we're excited of what 2024 is going to bring in the way of social programming and social activities here in the community. So yeah.
I think it's phenomenal. And the lunch and learns, I think, was one of the victims of the pandemic too. Where obviously people couldn't get in there,
Yeah,
and well, they could because you had the proper equipment to
sure.
screen them before they got there. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's an amazing idea because
Yeah.
as I remember going back several years, you've had some really, really great and important lunch and learns.
Sure. Yeah. And that's why I said we kind of, since the pandemic, had kind of gotten away from those. And so now excited to be able to offer those, as well as, again, kind of the social programming, more entertainers coming in, looking at innovative ways, right, to do activities, to do social programming. Excited to be able to go on the outside of the community to plays and productions that Port St. Lucie High School puts on. Um, we're still going out to the movies, we're still going to the casinos, shopping, excursions, dinner out, lunch out, breakfast out. And so just really mixing it up a little bit as we get new residents that come into the community, bringing new ideas to us. We're going to have our gift shop and our bistro. We're working to have those open back up again officially. So 2024 is going to be a great year here at Harbor Place.
Yep, and of course, don't forget the St. Lucie Mets, and we can throw you a few ducats there
Yeah,
for a bus full of folks and have a good time with the St. Lucie Mets.
absolutely. Believe it or not, we have a few of our residents here who are season ticket holders, and so they go. And we've gone a couple of times. That Sunday afternoon heat, though, is no match for we're no match for it. So
No,
so we really have to kind of pick and choose, have doing some of those Wednesday evening
I, I
games, right?
well, they have the in the evenings, and I can't think of which day it is. And of course, I'm sure Casey would let me know at the Mets. The silver sneaker games. You
Yeah,
bet.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you could do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, but again, we're no match for those Sunday games, but we do have residents here who are season ticket holders, so that will be back on the program for next year, when the Mets come back to town.
That sounds great. Yeah, yeah. It's and I think what is good is the fact that you do go out into the community and beyond. if
Yeah.
if you're hitting casinos, that that the folks are having such a good time. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Sure. And again, the wide variety of activities that we offer both in the community and then outside of the community. With the holidays coming up, we'll be able to go to those communities and see some of the holiday lights. Talking about going to the botanical gardens to see the light display there. So really, again, just we offer a lot in the community, but certainly there's so much more that our residents can partake upon and participate on outside of the community as well.
That's phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. And I don't know, boy, I'm gonna lose it here. Which date? And Bonnie doesn't have it here in the studio. With the boat parades, you've got them in both Stewart and Fort Pierce. You may
Yeah,
wanna just take a look at maybe you can get a bus worth of folks and bundle up and take a look at the boat parade.
take a look at a boat parade. Yeah, you're absolutely
I think
right.
it's
Yeah.
this weekend. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I hadn't experienced that in this area. I've experienced it further south in Fort Lauderdale, but I hadn't experienced it here. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it's believe me, it's not quite like Fort Lauderdale. The Fort Lauderdale boat parade is absolutely amazing, and I don't think there's anything under 100 feet allowed in that thing. It's
You're probably right. Yeah, those are some pretty big boats
oh
that are coming through there and yachts,
my
right? So
goodness. Yeah. Oh yeah. But the boat parade here in Fort Pierce is nice. The one in Stewart is beautiful. Actually, our WSTU used to broadcast the boat parade.
okay.
Yeah, that was almost 20 years ago. But yeah, until we got waterlogged one year, I think that That killed that idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Oh my
boy.
goodness. That's amazing though. Yeah. But again, the holidays are the best, right? But every day at Harbor Place really is the best, right? From again, the social programming to the dining experience, to just, friends making friends or seeing each other and being able to gather together, whether they're in the lobby in the evening time after dinner and just kind of sitting around and chatting with one another, watching the movie on the big screen together, some of those classics. Tonight we have movie on the big screen. We're watching The Bucket List, which is a great movie. And these are all resident choices, right? And so really, we work hard to just tune in to our residents and see what is working, what's not working, and what is it that they want to see, right? We could plan social programming all day long, but if it's not what the residents want to do, then it doesn't work for us.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Yeah, I get it. I think that's great. So one of the residents picked out the movie, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Bucket List. Yeah, it's a great classic movie, right? Great classic movie. And so right now we're calling for all talent, right? So that we could work on doing a resident talent show. And so, yeah, we're working on that right now to see who has talent here, kind of have our own little, the show that comes on NBC, right? Who's Got Talent. So, have our own little Who's Got Talent here at Harbor Place.
There you go. Or The Voice or something
The
like
Voice.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I forgot about The Voice.
Yeah, that would wow. That would be cool. Well,
Yes.
and I'm sure like everything else, you've got so many people from so many different walks of life that have some great hobbies and
Yeah.
possibly music in the background.
Yeah, and we do. I mean, and not only do we hear the stories of our residents and what they did in their past life in terms of careers, but they even share with us their families, right? Who they're so proud of. Today, this morning, I had an opportunity to speak with a resident. He's so excited because his son, who is an artist, has the opportunity to decorate the Red Room at the White House. And so, yeah, he came this morning and sought me out and showed me pictures of his son in the Red Room. And he was there measuring and kind of looking because he's going to decorate the Red Room at the White House. And so, so proud of our resident. And he's beaming with joy because this is his son and who has that opportunity. So of course, you know me, I use that, to say, hey, please ask him to have the president do a shout out for Harbor Place.
Yeah, let's see if we can get President Biden on the air here with you. Huh?
Absolutely. But it's so, like I said, I feel so blessed to be able to hear the stories of our residents and what they've done in their lifetime, right? Because it is. I mean, this is history, right? It's history. But then when they share about their families, their sons, their daughters, their grandsons and granddaughters, it's even more so because the smile on their face and the way that they're beaming, it's priceless. You'll never forget that look. And so
Boy,
that's what I love about what I do every day.
yeah, you should. And I would love to find out if that is the first time that that person has decorated the White House. I mean, I have never heard of anything quite like that. That's spectacular.
I mean, I think I mean, I've seen some of his work, right? And so I know his work has shown up in the Metropolitan Museum in New York and those, so I've seen that, right? But I don't know. I think this is probably the first time that I mean, gosh, the work that he does, and someone noticed it and said, "Hey, we want you to come to the White House, right, and decorate this Red Room."
And if his work has been at the Met, yeah, you bet he's talented.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Wow.
absolutely. Yes. Yes.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So, again, when we're meeting with families and we're meeting, with potential residents, we never know, who we're encountering, until we start to have conversation with them. And I tell you, again, I just feel so blessed that we have the opportunity to serve, not only our residents, but their families as well.
Wow. I can't get over that. That that's a
I know, I
huge
was shocked.
story.
I mean, I
Wow.
know, I was so excited for him. I was just so excited. Yeah.
Well, he's got to be a proud papa. There's no doubt about that.
And he
Wow.
is. I said to him, you must be so proud. And he was just beaming. He was. He couldn't wait. I mean, I was coming down, through the lobby and he stopped me and showed me. And I thought, oh my goodness, yeah, it's great. Yeah. So yeah. If there's anybody else out there who has a famous son or daughter, or maybe famous yourself, come on to Harbor Place because this is the place to be.
Yep, a place for
I'll
Hall
do
of
that
Fame.
little shameless plug here, Greg.
That's it. Yeah, the Harbor Hall. Oh, Harbor Place Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
You could start
Yeah.
one of those. Yeah, you can do that.
Absolutely.
I can come up with
Absolutely.
all sorts of weird ideas for you.
Ah, and one of the other things is the community has been, Harbor Place has been here for 23 years, right? So it has the reputation in the community. And while people come and go, there is still the name still pulls, right? The name still, when they hear Harbor Place, they can remember when their loved one lived here or a friend lived here, or maybe they came for a show or for a dinner or some event, and so the tradition lives on, with Harbor Place. And, our opportunity to serve, with some of our community partners out there coming in and hosting their events here, or hosting their support groups here, really is just what keeps the name out in the community. And, certainly, when I had the opportunity to come and serve at the community, that was my goal, is to make sure that I just carry on, what has already happened here at Harbor Place, that the reputation that has been built is what we continue to have for our community, for those families who are seeking, this type of setting and care for their loved one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, yeah, the reputation over the years has just been spectacular, and you've had some very, very talented predecessors,
Mm.
come through um, and and just do a marvelous, marvelous job in the community. So, and it sounds like you have more than exceeded that. Yeah, yeah, that's
I
great.
would, listen, we're so proud again of the services and the amenities that we offer here. And certainly anyone on our team, any of our associates would be beaming to talk about, the culture that is here, the opportunity that we have to serve, the setting that we work in. I mean, you can't get any better than this. The grounds are beautiful. The fact that we share the campus with Life Care, who offers, in-house and as well as outpatient, rehab services. I mean, you can't get any better than this type of setting here and to be on this campus.
Well, and I think the one thing that really catches my eye, um, Essencia, who's always got this huge smile to greet you, who has been there at least a couple semesters that I can remember. She's been there a long time, and
So,
and Pat, who's well over a decade
yeah.
with you guys. I think it's closer to 15 years now.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, is the longevity of our associates, the loyalty and the commitment they have for the residents that they've served and are still serving and looking forward to serve. Um, I mean, yes, you mentioned Cynthia and you mentioned, Pat. There are a number of servers in our dining room who have been with us for a number of years, housekeeping, some of our nursing team who have been here. And again, it really just speaks to their dedication, their commitment, and their loyalty to our residents and to our families. So when someone joins our family here at Harbor Place, they truly become the family, right? So we look after them. We're concerned about when things are happening, whether to our resident or to a family member. And so always wanting to make sure that we stay in touch and that we're in the loop with what's going on with them so that we can help, in times where, maybe someone isn't here locally, but that we can step in and we can provide whatever assistance we can to get them through whatever it is that they're dealing with. So the commitment from our staff and from our management team, it's invaluable.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's it's all continuity. It really is. It's you look at somebody who's been at a place for as many years as a lot of your people. I remember you had an executive chef that was there for decades, and I'm thinking, my goodness, sooner or later, and of course he wound up retiring. But you think that's all part of the team.
Absolutely. And again, when you have the continuity, right, it's consistent, it's a great team, they're working together. And then honestly, when new associates come in to the team, they just fall right in line, right? They fall right in line. They understand it, they get it, the buy-in is there, and they understand, the goal. The goal is to make sure that we're taking care of our residents and we're giving them the best care and services possible.
And I think the perfect example of that was the way you handled the pandemic. I mean, no
Oh,
doubt
sure.
about it. It was a well-oiled machine the way things went at Harbor Place.
Sure. I mean, of course, no one had ever dealt with anything like that before, but certainly putting the right processes and procedures in, and again, getting the staff to buy in and understand the importance of keeping everyone safe, right? So not just our residents, but their families who may have been coming in to visit, but then our associates as well, so that they could still continue to serve our residents during a time that was really scary for everyone, right? Uncertainty, didn't know exactly how long or what the outcome would be, but we made it through. And I tell you, it's not just with COVID, but with any disease or outbreak that could happen. Certainly we are better for it. We had things in place before, but certainly it gave us the pandemic gave us the opportunity to look a little bit deeper into some of those other things that we may not have considered, that could potentially bring some outbreaks as well. So we have been fortunate that our company and the community itself really has embraced the safety and the concern of our residents, our families, and then of course our associates as well.
Well, and that's the one big thing. And I remember turning the clock back more than a decade. Of course, our Harbor Place executive directors would always come to the station to do the show. And one of the big pluses from the pandemic, if you will, is the technology that you're on, the Zoom technology, which we use for so many show hosts, and as well as I do for IRSC basketball around the
Oh,
country.
sure. Yeah. I mean, again, it was the innovation, right? The things that we learned how to do. I mean, it's just phenomenal. And honestly, it's kind of it helped us to move towards that now, right? So, and again, our residents have just embraced it. And I will say it again, they are streaming, they are on tablets, they're going to tech classes and learning and then even sharing with us. And again, technology, has its advantages, and certainly our residents here at Harbor Place have had the opportunity to take it, have embraced it. So it is great. It is great.
There
Mhm.
you go. Well, and I just think about WPSL with our streaming side of us that is now, we were told from the folks in Illinois, reaching more than 50 countries
Wow.
during the week, and our basketball broadcasts are hitting about 80 countries.
Wow.
Very
That
cool.
is amazing. Sure. Yeah.
But
But
again,
you know,
that's an outgrowth of, everything that we went through with the pandemic.
absolutely. And it's a great way to be able to share with those who still may not be comfortable coming outside of their homes or making in-person visitations, but they still get the information. I tell you, through this show, we have had a number of residents who have moved in because of this. Folks have come to many of our events because of the show. And so being able to have the opportunity just to share a little bit about the community, um, of course, Greg, spend time with you, right? Has been just one of those things. I mean, it's probably one of the best things that we could have ever done. And so always looking forward to getting on when I can. I know I don't always make the shows, but certainly when I can get on, I'm super, super excited to be on.
We were down in Palm Beach State the other night, and it really hit me over the head when one of our players introduced me to his grandfather. And his grandfather was telling me, I watch all of the games through your voice. He was
Wow.
blind. He happened to be blind. And it was like, whoa. And I said that really hit me over the head. It's like, okay, this I said, well, I try my best and hopefully we'll keep it going for you.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to say. It's really amazing. It really is. Feel blessed.
Yeah.
Just
Absolutely. You don't know the impact of, others, right? And you never know who's listening. And so that's why we do what we do. Certainly here at Harbor Place with serving our older adults and their families, because you don't know the impact. And so you come every day, with your heart, um, looking forward to serving them. And so I know that there are families out there who might be contemplating whether if this type of setting works for their loved one or not. But I would encourage you to at least come and hear and see what Harbor Place has to offer. Um, it's rewarding, it's fulfilling, and it certainly does give a sense of relief to the loved ones that are out there that their mom or dad are in a safe space, getting a whole host of services and access to amenities outside of their home.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it is their home. I mean, that's the beauty of what you do, because whether it's decorating your apartment the way you used to have your house, or whatever. I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And again, not everyone is excited about this type of setting. But again, I would encourage you just to come and check us out. You can give us a call, schedule a time for a tour. Um, and Pat and myself, we're always looking forward to showing off the community. We're very proud of the services and the amenities that we offer here.
Yeah, I'm just going to be excited about going to the casino. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, that's just one of those things. Not everybody loves the casino, but
No,
for those
I'll
that
bet.
do, certainly we have the opportunity to go. We don't go as often as they probably like for us to go, but certainly we've scheduled a couple of trips during the year.
So, how many Swifties do you have at Harbor Place following
You
Taylor
know what?
Swift?
I have not asked that question. We have a huge, I tell you though, we have a huge population that loves the football, whether it's college or professional. I had an opportunity to speak to a resident yesterday, and I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry that your Buffalo Bills lost." She had come down on Sunday and she said that the residents were ragging her because the Bills were losing. And just for a little moment, they were winning. And then, of course, if you know anything about the game, they tied it up and they went into overtime. Well, Philadelphia ended up winning. And so I gave her a hug yesterday because her Buffalo Bills lost. So,
Oh,
but I don't think we have any Swifties, right? So I don't know. I do believe there are some Kansas City Chief fans here, but but they rag each other, whether it's college or professional. Yeah,
sure.
that's what they do. So it's all good.
It's all
But
fun.
I think the population here is more into baseball than anything. So that seems to be the favorite sport here.
Well, and that's not a surprise looking at the demographic that baseball would be there. There's
Absolutely.
no
Yeah,
doubt about it.
absolutely.
Let's talk about the events coming up.
Okay.
A couple minutes
Yeah.
left.
So just want to share again, this coming Friday, December 1st, at 2 o'clock, it's our Tree of Life service, with Treasure Coast Hospice. And again, for anyone who wants to come and join us for this service where we have a time to reflect and remember those that are no longer with us, certainly call and RSVP here at the community. And then on December the 6th, starting at 3:30, it's our tour of Italy with our entertainer, Andre Tesoro. Again, if you want to come and just have a real good time during our tour of Italy with our hors d'oeuvres and a little bit of other refreshments, call the community 772-337-4330 to RSVP. Seating is limited, so don't hesitate to call in.
There you go. That's amazing. So
And I'm telling you, both those events were full up. So if you are interested, you need to call today for sure.
yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they will. And that's marvelous. That is marvelous. Katrina, thank you so much for being with us. And
Absolutely.
again, you guys have a great Christmas and holiday season at Harbor Place, and a very, very happy New Year as well.
All right, Greg. Thank you for having me on. Don't forget 772-337-4330. Harbor
All
Place
right.
at Port St. Lucie. All
All
right,
right.
Greg.
Have a good day. Have a good week.
Bye.
We'll see you next week. Katrina
Bye.
Beasley, Executive Director at Harbor Place. The Queen of Harbor Place. Nice. Nice. This is WPSL, Port St. Lucie.